Emily glances up at the sun shining brightly off the windows and decides today is the day. She will get her friend Jenna to go geocaching with her and get her addicted to it as much as she is. After all, Jenna needs to get over Aaron. She has been so upset about her fiancé dumping her at their wedding that she just doesn't want to do anything with Emily. So, she must take matters into her own hands. How do I persuade her to come with me? I have it all set up. I just have to find a way to make Jenna want to. Maybe I could tell her that sometimes I find unusual things that are really interesting. I can tell her about the time that I opened a Altoids tin and a diamond ring was hidden inside. Trying to figure out exactly how to approach the subject with Jenna, she drives up to her house. Collecting some of her gear, Emily knocks on her door. Jenna opens the door and hugs her. Hey, you would never guess what I am about to do. Emily eyes her. What? Turn gay? Because, that's what I am about to do if I don't stop feeling like crap. Jenna says sarcastically. I have never felt so bad about a man in my life. My heart has broken in so many ways I didn't think it was possible. Well, okay. I am not going to turn gay. But, I am going to go geocaching today and you're going with me. Emily pauses and looks at Jenna, who doesn't look shocked at all. I looked up the coordinates to a little place about 2 hours from here. It sounds like it's right by the waterfall in Jennison Park. Maybe even in it. I have had to go swimming for my little treasures before. Intriguing. Jenna murmurs. I think I will come with. If nothing else, it will be pretty. Do you have everything we need for the hunt, or do you need to go back home and get the stuff first? Emily, caught by surprise, takes a minute to register that she actually said yes. Yeah, I have it all. My Garmin GPS, pencil, paper, and log book. Also a rope and climbing stuff if we have to go down a cliff. Well, let's go then. Who knows, maybe we will find a cool treasure. Or an awesome surprise. Emily quickly picks up her gear, and they make their way to the car. On the way, Jenna stares out the window and tries to keep from talking about the whole wedding nightmare. But of course Emily doesn't take a hint and asks, have you talked to Aaron at all? Jenna looks at Emily and rolls her eyes. Nope, and I am never going to either. He hasn't even tried to call. So, I am done. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have brought it up. Anyway, are you excited? Emily feels really bad about the situation. Hell yeah. This is my first one. Maybe we will find something awesome. I sure hope so anyway. Jenna starts to perk up and forget about our earlier conversation. They arrive at their destination. There isn't a lot of people at the falls because it's at the end of the tourist season. While unpacking the stuff, Emily grabs her cell phone and tucks it in her pocket. Jenna leaves her purse in the car and grabs a bottle of water. With the rope over one arm and GPS in the other hand, Emily tells Jenna to hurry. The sun will be going down in about 2 hours. We have to find the exact location and then figure out if we dig or swim. Sometimes they are even hidden in plain sight. Emily watches the GPS intensely as they find the exact location. It looks like we are here. Just as I suspected. It could be in the waterfall or in the surrounding rocks. They couldn't have made it easy for my first time, could they? Jenna raises an eyebrow and smirks. Well, no. Usually they aren't easy. That is most of the fun. Emily puts down the rope and her other things along the rocks. Then she starts to meticulously look around every rock and into every crevice. Jenna picks up a rock and skips it across the water. Then she sees a shiny object just under the water's surface. She yells for Emily to come over. What's up? Did you find something? Emily looks surprised. Yes, I think I found it. Look out there just under the water's surface. There is something shiny. Jenna, proud of herself, starts to take off her shoes and then walks out into the water. Brrrr. The water is a little chilly today. Good thing I brought an extra pair of clothes in case we did go in the water. Let me go get it. Jenna wades in and then dives once the water gets chest level. She comes back up and holds a small tin in her hand. She waves, "I got it. I am so excited. Hurry up, I want to see." Emily jumps up and down. She just can't wait to see what her friend has found. Will it be a trinket, a piece of jewelry, a note, or something wonderful? Jenna struggles opening it, for some reason the clasp is stuck. Emily takes it from her and manages to free it. Then she hands it back to her so she can see what's in it first. After all, it is her first treasure hunt. Her hands shake a bit in anticipation as she opens the tin. When she sees what's inside, Emily hears a blood-curdling scream come out of Jenna's mouth. "What's wrong?" Emily cries out. It's a finger." Jenna turns to Emily and then shows her the contents of the box. Inside, Emily can see a bloody finger of what looks like a man. Holy crap! Is that real? She touches it with her hand to see if it's plastic or feels like skin. Immediately she wishes she didn't. She drops the box and looks at Jenna. "We have to call the police." Emily grabs her phone and starts to dial 911. She realizes then that there is no service. Jenna picks up the tin, and they both walk back to the car. After they get in and lock the doors, Emily tries to start the car, and all it does is make a clicking sound. "Hold on. Did you leave the lights on in the car?" Jenna asks. "No, did you?" "I never turned them on." Emily searches for something under the seat. She finds it and looks around for anyone else who can help them. Everyone else has left for the evening, and it's starting to get dark out. "Now what do we do?" Jenna asks. Emily turns to her and smiles. "Don't worry. I have a flashlight and we can walk up to the ranger station. They can give us a lift into town." "Are you sure?" "I don't like walking alone in the dark, especially when we are in the middle of nowhere." Jenna looks scared half to death as she looks out the car door into the wilderness. "Well, let's get this over with. Who knows, maybe there will be some hot ranger at the station waiting for us." Emily giggles. They both get out of the car and start to walk down the dirt road towards the office. Jenna hears something from behind them, and she grabs Emily's hand. She doesn't say anything, but she motions for Emily to be quiet. Emily looks behind her and could swear she saw a shadow move about 20 feet back. They both start to walk quickly down the road. Suddenly they stop when they hear someone rushing at them. Turning, Jenna feels the first impact. Then Emily gets hit over the head. When they wake up, they are in the trunk of a car, tied and gagged. Jenna has a bruise starting to show on her left eye and a big scratch on her cheek. Emily doesn't look harmed, but has a huge headache. They try to get free but don't succeed. Instead, they roll around to see if they can see what is in the trunk they can use. Emily manages to free her phone and turn the flashlight on. She can see a shovel, rope, and numerous other items in the trunk with them. She remembers to check the signal strength and finds 1 bar, so she calls 911. It doesn't go through. She tries again, realizing her battery is at 21%. If it doesn't work this time, then she will have to shut it off for a bit and save the battery. Hopefully, in a while the signal will be stronger. She hears someone ask what the emergency is as the call goes through. She mumbles into it but she can't speak. The person on the other end asks again. Frustrated, Emily tries to get the gag out and scream. She manages to get out help. This time the operator hears her, and she says hold on. The car starts to slow down and comes to a stop. Then she hears a car door open. Shit! Emily thinks to herself as she looks over at Jenna, who seems to be unconscious. Panicking, she gets ready to kick whoever has kidnapped them. There is a loud thud outside and the trunk opens up. What Emily sees makes her cry, and then she feels pain surge through her head. Too late does she realize that a bullet just buzzed through her cheek and out the other side. Then everything goes black. Jenna wakes up when she hears a loud bang. She looks over and sees blood all over a gaping wound in Emily's face. She's not breathing, a man from behind her says to someone else. Then he steps out of the shadows and she wants to die herself. Matter of fact, she is sure she will be next. The man has cold dead eyes, blacker than the night. He stares right at her and aims the gun. Before the end, all she hears is the owl hooting from the nearby tree. Then the cracking sound of her skull. The end. By M.D. Belle.